All right, good morning, everyone. Hello, how are you guys? Yeah, I hope that you're going to enjoy this little bit different version of live from yesterday. Um, yeah, we'll just see how we go. It's just going to be me today. I'm going to try to, um, do it more as just you guys can just watch it in your own time, and there's a bit of resources at the end that you can do the exercises and stuff on your own. So just to try to make it a little bit easier today. So um, I'm going to start with a comment, and my aim is that different staff members will do different things as we go. So each of us can have a turn having a comment, but today's my comment. So what I wanted to talk about was how much I miss hugging. Right, so I always kind of don't think of myself as a hugger, or I say that, but in reality, I really am a hugger, I think, and I just really miss hugging people. And one of my reflections was how, and like, yeah, don't judge me for this, but how when I play sport, one of the best things was that we just hug each other. We score whatever. I was thinking, gridiron. This is me here. And this is us after we scored a touchdown. This is one of the I don't know who it is, but I won't shout it out here. But yeah, like he scored, I think, and I was just like super happy for him. But just he's a cuddle that is disguised as yeah, we won. Yeah, we're bros, but really we're just cuddling each other. So yeah, I was just reflecting on how much I miss hugs at the moment, where it's kind of, yeah, we can't do as much of that as usual. And this is another one of my best friends, Wayne, giving me a big squeeze. Again, I'm pretending like I don't like it, but in reality, we know the truth now. So yeah, that's my comment. Really, is just like what a crazy time, and we take things for granted, like handshakes and like hugs and like just standing close to someone, and got kind of a bit weird now that we can't do any of that. So all right, so the next thing I wanted to do was go over a piece of anatomy, for just to teach you a little bit about it. And I think each day I'd like to have something that like that where we can that we can go over and just teach a little bit about. So to do that, I've got to share from my phone, so I've got to figure out how to do that. So the one I've chosen today is, when it's ready, here. Is this muscle called transverse abdominis. So it's this one here that's highlighted in yellow, and hopefully that has actually come up quickly enough. So to orient you, your spine here, right? There's not really big structures supporting this area of your back, which is your lumbar spine, which is lower back, really. So you see the ribs just above there; they kind of just end, and then your pelvis starts a little bit lower down. So this little area here is quite vulnerable, and then it's supported by these layers of muscles here that I'm adding on, right? So whenever we talk about core core strength or core activation or core stability, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about, are these muscles doing enough of a job to support your lower back, to support your pelvis as you move through space? So the one I want to draw the most attention to is the one that's the innermost layer, right? So here's our top layer, inside layer, or second layer. Then this is the one that we glorify, that we all wish that we had available for show, but very few of us do. So this is the one that gets a lot of the glory, but it's not really the main event, right? So this is the one that we're talking about here, which is transverse abdominis, and it's important because it's the innermost layer of your core. And yeah, so it's called transverse abdominis. It runs all the way around your trunk here. supporting your torso as you move through space. And I think the main problem with this muscle is that it really, and that's why I wrote in the PowerPoint there about core activation, is that it needs to be the first muscle that is switched on when you're doing a dynamic movement. So if you're going to lift something heavy off the floor, you really want this muscle to be the first thing that comes on to stabilize your spine so that you don't get injured or have lower back pain. So we really find that this is a big issue. Problems that can happen with this muscle are things like if someone has an operation, they'll cut through the muscle, and that can stop that muscle from working properly. I think one of the common things that we see is like later in life, the operation, especially like something like a hysterectomy, where there's a big operation, they cut through the muscle, you're a bit idle for a while, and that can kind of stop this muscle from activating at the right time. And yeah, it's kind of a tricky muscle. It's not something that it's movement. It's like not like a bicep where just you do this movement and the bicep is going to work. It's a bit more subtle. It's a bit more the brain needs to be a bit more involved in that one. So I think the other thing is that I've put together a few exercises here to show you a couple of exercises that can be related to that, related to that muscle. So let me try this again here. I'm learning how to do this, but I'm not very good still. All right, so here are some exercises that are demonstrating that. Oh. So at the very basic level, it's doing stuff like this where you're just drawing your belly button in, using the hands to give a bit of feedback that you're doing it correctly. And what you're trying to do is draw your belly button in, but maintain your breathing as normally as possible. So you're trying to, basically we call it dual tasking, where you're trying to get your brain to concentrate on breathing, and then in the background, concentrate on keeping this muscle activated. So the better you can do with breathing without losing breath, the better. And you want to try to be able to hold that for a longer time as a bit of a progression. So that's like entry level, and then next level is starting to add a bit more dual tasking, where your brain's having to work on other things. So similar idea, you're starting off with your belly button being drawn in to activate this muscle that I mentioned before called transverse abdominis, but then now you're starting to add some leg movements, again, just to try to challenge your brain to keep that muscle involved and activated while it's doing other things. Now, breathing and moving your leg are the other things that we've added into that element. And then I've added one more here, which is just a bit more of an advanced one. And we'll have to thank our very handsome model for doing this for us. So this is like a hollow rock, right? So it's a modified hollow rock. A normal hollow rock is on the floor, but this is one where we're rocking back and forth on the edge of a bed. Again, that muscle transverse abdominis is stopping you from hitting the wall behind you. So you just got to have a bit of control there. So I'm using the bed just to make it a little bit easier than doing it on the floor. You could use a couch, or you could use your own bed, or you can use the floor to make it a little bit harder. But again, it's just about trying to keep that kind of tightness through your tummy, your belly button, as you rock back and forth. And that muscle's job is to control that movement and keep your trunk stable while you're doing that. All right, so that's a little lesson about, oh gosh, see, I'm learning these things. All right, so the next thing is we're going to do a little preview of the exercises today. So I think this is the alternative to what I was doing yesterday, which is kind of running through the whole session. And again, I'm really interested just to know what works better if you're following along at home or if you're doing the exercise at home. So yeah, I just thought that I try to give you the exercises in a different way today, but really it's similar to what we did yesterday. So you could watch that video yesterday as well. And so what I've done for today's one is I've made a PDF that you can download that's got all the exercises on it, so you can follow along on your own time. So that's going to go on the website, which I'll put the link at the very end. And basically the link will just be based on today's date, and it'll have the download, like a button that will just download the PDF to your computer or to your phone. And then there's another button that I've put on there, which actually links the videos, because each exercise has a video like I was just showing you. So yeah, that's what we're going to do as well, which is just have you be able to access like a video series following the program from start to finish, just kind of to give you a chance to go over it on your own time and to take as many reps and sets as you want. I really think as well, one of the ideas would be that, when you're working out at home, it's a bit harder to have variety. So you can start to develop your own little routine that works for you. So you might take a couple of exercises, that we might share or that you've done before on your own or with us, and start to add that into your daily kind of exercise routine. I really encourage you to set aside a time for it, like you would do when you're coming into the clinic, which is, my appointment's at 11 o'clock. I'm going to start exercising at 11 o'clock because I think at home it's very easy to just, I'll do it after lunch, I'll do it after dinner, and then it doesn't get done. So I think, I'm very guilty of that. So I really think like setting a time for it is ideal. And again, I think we'd like to try to help you be accountable if we can. What else I'm going to show you? I'm going to show you this PDF that I've made. So how am I going to do that? So like once you download, this is the PDF. So it's got the exercise on there, like we did yesterday. And I've written at the bottom here that this is part of the warm-up. So this is the first part of the warm-up, jogging on the spot. We're doing shoulder circles. Again, warm-up number 2, and it says up here the sets and the reps. So this one's 30 seconds of shoulder circles, and then ballerina squats, wall slides, weight transfer. That's all the warm-ups, right? So, and then the exercise starts. So I wrote here circuit 1. So that's the burpees. Again, me in the living room last year. These Romanian deadlifts, part of circuit 1. So these two go together. So it says here 3 sets. So doing 5 burpees, 10 deadlifts, 5 burpees, 10 deadlifts, 5 burpees, 10 deadlifts. And then this is circuit 2. So it's on the floor. It's a glute bridge with a crunch, which we just talked about, transverse abdominis. So this is an exercise that kind of works on that a little bit as well. Then circuit 3 is this one that we did. It's doing some squats, chair squats, box squats, or you can do free squats, combined with a wall push-up, and then calf raises. So that's 3 sets. Again, you can make things a little bit harder. Say the push-up here, it's on the wall. If that's a bit easy, you can put your hands on a couch or on the floor and do it a bit harder, like bringing the angle down. Same with these ones. Holding on is a little bit easier for your balance, but if you don't hold on, that makes it a little bit more challenging as well. And I've ridden 10 reps, but you can go a little bit longer than that if you're doing really well. And if 10 is too many, you can do less. You could do the seated instead of standing. So there's a few ideas for you. Circuit 4 is for the hips. So the first exercise, the picture is not great here because this takes a screen grab from the video software. But basically, you're just standing tall and just dragging your leg back, one leg back at a time. So for 10 reps in a row. And that's really trying to squeeze your bum as hard as you can as you drag your leg back. And yesterday I used the cues like imagining that your leg's really heavy or that you're pushing back against something that's really heavy just to, recruit the muscle a little bit harder. And then the second part of that is bringing the leg up into like a marching position. And that's a little circuit as well, circuit number 4. And then I put a couple of balance ones. So there's a tandem walk here. Again, the pictures that it grabs aren't the best here, but you can read the description. But this is the one where you're just walking as if you're on a tightrope. So heel in front of the toe and just trying to be as narrow as possible. A couple of laps, and you can do slight holding on. This is a clock step, which is again holding on, just touching your toe out to the front, out to the side, and to the back. And remember, there's videos that go along with them. So if this PDF by itself isn't clear enough, you can watch the videos as a reference. Or again, you can try to watch yesterday's live stream where I went through each of them with Ashley and kind of talked a bit more detail about each one. And if you think that that's something that is important for you, I'll be happy to try to do more of that. But again, I felt like yesterday it might be a little bit too dense for some people. So then there's a few stretches at the end here for you to try out as well. All right. I'll go back to this. Oh, I keep doing the same mistake every time. I want to do a shout out as well. So this client shout out, and we're shouting out Ashley. So these are some great photos that we've taken recently, some new ones. So again, before lockdown, obviously, with how close I am and no mask and all this stuff. Ashley's a plank queen. So here she is concentrating as hard as she can on doing a plank. And here I am, probably just started after she's been gone for a minute or so and pretending like I'm comfortable, but I'm pretty sure from memory that was me giving up first as usual against Ash anyway. I just want to shout her out because she joined me yesterday for the live stream. She was a great sport. She smashed it, and she just helped me be the first guinea pig of a live stream. So I thank her for that, and I'm shouting her out for being the plank queen and for just being helpful yesterday. And so the last thing that I'm going to touch on in this little video is giving you a daily challenge. So again, I think we're just trying to give you some more motivation and some more accountability just to see what we can do to try to get you to stick to your goals as much as we can during this crazy period. So today's daily challenge is a wall sit. So that's basically putting your back against the wall and sliding down. The ideal is we get the knee at 90 degrees and the hip at 90 degrees. So about where this lady is demonstrating here, maybe a tiny bit lower. But again, if that's too hard, you can go higher up, makes it a little bit easier. So basically, holding this position as long as you can, recording the time. And then on this web page that I'm going to share, I'm going to have a little area where you can record, tell us what your time was. And then maybe tomorrow or later in the week, we might shout out, some of the best times that we saw. So really try to push yourself here, and maybe you can do, you can try compete as a family and see who can go the longest. There's a few little tricks that we've got, to try to make it really good. I think Keisha was our record setter, and maybe beaten by Talia at some point or other way around. So there's a few little tricks that people that can do this really well. But again, I think this is a sneaky one because, it's not necessarily the strongest person wins because you're carrying your body weight as well. So again, heavier people like myself tend to be a bit worse at this one. So this is a kind of a good one for everyone to give a try and see how long you can hold for. I think a lot of it is mental as well. So I think that's what I like about it is, your muscles are going to be burning because they're not contracting, they're just holding that position, which is called isometric. And your mind really has to try to figure out a way to keep you going. One note is that if your knees are hurting while you're doing it, I wouldn't push too much through that knee pain, like right on the front of your knee. But what you can try to do is push your bum into the wall a little bit more, like really lean back and squeeze your body against the wall. That will help take the pressure off your knees. And you can also turn your toes slightly out, and that will usually put your kneecap in a little bit of a better position. So you can try that before you kind of give up or as you're doing the exercise if you do feel knee pain. So that's pretty much it. Again, I just kind of smashed through it. I was trying to give you a shorter version than what I did yesterday. So I'll be interested just to see what you guys think. The other thing is I've made this web page, and I think we're going to try to do this each time, which will kind of house all the information from that day's message. So today's one, it's just today's date. And what it's got on there, it's got the download, the PDF download. It's got the link for the videos that you can watch the videos for today's kind of workout that I put up. And I'm also going to add on there an area where you can log your wall sit time, but also give us any comments or feedback or anything that you'd like to share with us, or if you'd like us to help you a little bit more if you have any trouble with any of those links that I put up to communicate with us. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I might just show you that as well. Yeah, like this is the webpage. It's not fully finished yet, but like, this is download today's sheet. This is access the exercise video. The only thing with the exercise video is that it's made for a human, so it's got a year of birth. So I've put the year of birth as 2021. So once you click that, it'll open up the link that's got the exercises. So if you put 2021, should work if we do it together. If they agree. Yeah, so here are the exercises that are in the PDF, and then each one will have a video that you can watch along and copy. Right, so that might make it a little bit easier than the PDF version as well. So thank you so much for watching. Again, I'd be keen to know what you guys think. If this is better or worse or valuable or not valuable. But again, I think during this period that it's just a bit crazy. We just want to make sure that you're just able to follow some sort of exercise thoughts and ideas and lessons just while you're stuck at home. It also gives us something to do as well. It gives me something to do. So I do hope that there's some benefit there to you. And good luck. Have a good day, and we'll see you maybe tomorrow again, and we'll see what